So I didn't make a video for Draw Mohammed Day. Um, the reason why was because I was mulling it over whether or not I actually wanted to draw Muhammad. Because, well, one reason was because it was associated with Thunderfoot somehow, and Thunderfoot's been wrong lately, and there's been a backlash against Thunderfoot, and it just made me look at whether or not I wanted to do this. And after mulling it over, I decided that it doesn't really matter to me whether or not Thunderfoot is a part of this, because it doesn't really affect me when people say atheists are bad because Pol Pot and Chairman Mao were atheists and they were communists and they killed a whole bunch of people. I can be an atheist and not be like those atheists. Um, so I can do this Draw Muhammad Day and not be like Thunderfoot. Also, when Richard Coughlin said that some white supremacy groups and the EDL were getting involved with Draw Muhammad Day, that also doesn't really affect me pretty much for the same reason. Just because I do something that is similar to them doesn't mean that I agree with them on anything else. Um, I know a lot of people who decided for themselves that this Draw Muhammad Day, you know, or turning it into a yearly thing, is not something that they want to be a part of. And um, a lot of people associate the only reason that they had with doing the original was because of the censorship of South Park and because of the newspapers that were attacked for printing pictures of Muhammad, and that was like a one-off. It was a one-time deal. Um, for me, it's not the case because I still see um, the influence of Islam on things that uh, I would like to do in order to understand Islam. Um, Recently, I made a video where I was showing uh, an app for my new Droid phone. This app was called iQuran, and one of the reasons why I was drawn to it was because it said that it uh, had a voice reading out the Quran. And when I downloaded it, it wasn't a voice in English. It had a voice reading the original text in the original language, and then it had English subtext that you could follow. And what I want is a voice in English without having to hear a voice in the original language it was written singing it out surah by surah, because it would help me to understand the Quran by hearing it in English, the translation only. But somehow this is offensive to Muslims, or a certain subsect of Muslims. And so there are Qurans that are printed that if it doesn't have the English, it always has to have the Arabic writing that it was originally written in. So this affects me in that it seems like a discrimination against my way of learning and interpreting things. I would like to be able to approach uh, the Quran in my own way. And when I look for that, I'm getting discriminated against because they're being offended. Somehow, me being able to understand the Quran by hearing it in English offends them, and it's just, I think it's overstepping the bounds of their being offended. You know, them being offended should have nothing to do with me trying to find a way to understand their holy text. So I, in my life, have been offended since the original Draw Muhammad Day, and it's in a way where I feel like a lot of Muslims in the world still need to know that them being offended does not equal me having to do anything or be restricted in any way. So I decided that this year I am going to do Draw Muhammad Day on my own, 2 days late, because I had to mull it over. And I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I did it last year, because last year I drew, I did the Have You Seen Me thing for Got That Funk, and I did the Draw Muhammad Day thing by drawing Muhammad in a pink bikini, as he would appear on a magazine cover, because I was wanting to be offensive, you know, like Flying Spaghetti Monster marinating the Jesus fish with marinara offensive, you know, but this year it's not the case, because I've been restricted in trying to understand the Quran, in wanting to read it in English and hear it in English. I also want to point out that we can be restricted in art, which is another way to understand a culture, through their art. And so I've made a piece of art that I believe is not offensive in my eyes. And if there is anything offensive still about depicting Muhammad in this way, I would like there to be a conversation about it. Now, this brings us to the reveal moment. Here we go. This is the picture I drew for my own 2 days late Draw Muhammad Day. Now, here we have a sick girl in a bed. You see her bedposts are like little minarets. That's, you know, my attempt to make her look like a girl who believes in Islam. She's sick, and she's got a little blood drip. You know, she's getting a blood transfusion or something, maybe in a hospital. And above her is the apparition of the Prophet Mohammed, who is calling upon his magical powers, you know, and his hands are becoming inflamed with healing powers, and he's here to bring comfort to this sick girl. So I don't see anything offensive with my trying to understand Islam by trying to understand that they see the Prophet Muhammad as, you know, the bringer of peace and peacefulness, and trying to depict this in art. And if anyone out there wants to explain to me how this is offensive, please, by all means, let me know what you're thinking.